another gorgeous day in Virginia. Welcome to my channel, In Search of Wonder. My name is Anne, and we are kicking off this week on Sunday. A gorgeous, beautiful day, a little bit on the chilly side to be sure, but gorgeous nonetheless. And we are going to see what I get up to this week on the vlog. To begin with, I just recently finished reading The Enchanted April last week at the very tail end of this past week, and I really enjoyed reading it. I will say, in terms of the actual story, I felt like everything kind of really wrapped up very conveniently at the end. And you have to take the title seriously here, Enchanted April. You have to understand that the things that happen in the story and the way that everything gets resolved, I don't believe it's intended to be super realistic. It's charming, it's delightful, and it's communicating something really important, but I don't think it's intended to be imagined as realistic. The author is definitely using that word enchanted intentionally. So you're supposed to get this idea that there's some kind of enchantment in this Italian villa that, and not, it's not a fantasy book either, but it's just the setting is what is able to produce, it is the reason for all of the changes that take place in the story that build up toward the ending of everything. So it is a little convenient, but we'll just go with it's enchanted. And what I really love about this story is overall what the author is saying about beauty in particular, because you know that is one of my favorite things. I love this idea of beauty as an end in itself and something worth striving for. Because beauty, like the other virtues of truth and goodness, can be transformative and life-changing. And I don't think we recognize that because we think beauty just seems like something that's just so, I don't know, because there's an impracticality to it, that it doesn't seem to have anything of value in it other than pleasure. And so we just think skeptically that, well, since there's not any more to it, it's just superficial, it can't therefore be transformative. It's just a surface element. And also because very often what we think of as beautiful can be subjective. So we think therefore it's not valuable and it doesn't have value in and of itself. Well, I think that some aspects of beauty can be subjective, but I think we can all agree that some things are truly beautiful. I think all of us can agree. There are things that all of us agree are beautiful, and nature is one of them. Springtime is another. Flowering trees is one of them. And the things that are truly beautiful, when we immerse ourselves in beauty, I do think that that can be transformative. As transformative as the story is implying, not necessarily. And I think that she's maybe saying more than just mere beauty there is what is giving the transformating power. There's just virtue in general. And yeah, I think that's what's transformative in people's lives. But I like that. And I like in this story how she took four women actually, who were dissatisfied with life as it was. They were discouraged, disillusioned, all of those things. But instead of forsaking all of that, instead of forsaking broken relationships, instead of forsaking what they knew to be true, instead of just casting everything aside, they just took a little break. They immersed themselves in something that was beautiful. They took time there. And this is key. One character, she just immersed herself in the goodness of the beauty around her, and she took it for granted, and it just had an immediate transforming power on her. The others took a little bit more time, and they all spent a lot of time thinking. What they were thinking about was how they contributed to the problems they were experiencing in their life. And as they confronted difficult truths about themselves, that's when the transformative power started to take place. And they began to realize how they had contributed to the mess that they were living in, how they had contributed to their own disillusionment. And also that was the key to how to get out of that and how to go forward in life with new joy, with new purpose, with a new determination to live selflessly and beautifully. And so it's really a beautiful story with some very profoundly Christian ideas in it. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I do want to listen to the rest of the Literary Life podcast to hear their thoughts on the second half of the book and the ending. I'm just curious to, just to get more context and information about the book and what the author was saying, other than what I picked up on my own. But I did really enjoy it. Great book. It was a great way to end my April reading. And now, as we are embarking on May, the first full week of May, I have picked up Indigo by T.I. Lowe. Now, this goes for Jeanette's Jane Reads Christian Fiction Bingo for this year. For the month of May, the prompt is to read a book set in the South and a 5-star prediction. So this book covers those for me. Indigo Isle is set in South Carolina. And the last book I read by this author, T.I. Lowe, I don't remember if I gave it 5 stars, but I really enjoyed it. And I feel like this one has the potential to be a 5-star read for me. So far as I'm reading, like, T.I. Lowe is just really a great author. I just am enjoying stuff. I'm only in a couple chapters in, but I'm enjoying what she's writing. I am also working on reading something for a secret project. So I don't know when my first video on that secret project will go live. I'm suddenly finding myself a little bit overwhelmed with video content, that some of it which is time sensitive, that I need to get out, film, edit, upload, and everything. So I don't know where this one will fall in that. And I needed to do a little bit more of my reading anyway to get it ready. So anyway, a little bit of a secret project that I'm working on. So as for what I have coming up this week, I just have daily life stuff. Nothing special. Hopefully not as busy as last week. I don't think so. So possibly some more time to read. That would be nice, because my April reading kind of, even though I was really enjoying the Enchanted April, it's literally all I was able to read last week. I wasn't able to read anything else. It shouldn't have taken me long to read that book. It wasn't very long, but it took me the whole week because I just didn't have a lot of time. So I'm hoping I have more time this week, because there's so many books that I just want to get my hands on and read. So anyway, that is what I have going this week. And I'll check in with you in another day or two, and we'll see how it's going. It looks a lot like mine. It's blooming. I love that the peonies always bloom around my birthday. So beautiful. This one's gonna pop open soon. Hello, it's Thursday evening and I am making breakfast for dinner, so I'm flipping pancakes. And I am also experimenting again with my layered drinks. This one was my most successful so far. Getting there. It's been a minute since I filmed an update. The problem is that I have been kind of really focused on my secret project reading, which is one reason why I have resisted up to this point kind of doing any secret projects like that. And by the way, it's not like some deep dark secret. It's only a secret because I don't want to spill all the beans before the video is ready to share, which will be probably next week. So that's the only reason it's secret. And I guess you'll have to wait a week or two to find out what I mean. But I've been focused on that reading this week. And I finished that book. But I am also trying to read Indigo by T.I. Lowe. And so that is all that I can talk about right now and share with you. And I haven't gotten very far. But it is for Jeanette's Christian Fiction Bingo because it is set in the South. And what was the other one? The other prompt? A 5-star prediction? Is that what it was? I think so. And I am hoping for 5 stars because I know that T.I. Lowe is a really good author. I've read one other book by her no, that wasn't it. Lulu's Cafe, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was very well done. I honestly don't remember if I actually gave it 5 stars, but looking back on it, I have no complaints about it. I feel like it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It was very gripping, etc. All of those things. So, hoping for 5 stars for this one. So it's set in the South. In South Carolina, in the islands, our main character, whose name? Oh, Sunny. Yeah, it was a funny name for a girl. And I was in the first chapter. I was trying to figure out if this was it was sounding like a female perspective, but the name was male, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. But yes, that is gone over as to why she has the name Sunny. So our main character, Sunny, who was a girl, is a location manager for Hollywood, and so she goes into areas and scouts out film locations, and then she makes all the arrangements, and then she manages everything related to the location. So, which actually sounds like a pretty fun job, minus the Hollywood part. So, she has this job, and she has a secret from her past that is that caused a break between her and her family, and so we're slowly uncovering what that was and why it happened that way. And I have a feeling that as the story goes on, she's eventually going to get back with her family, I'm guessing, but so far, no. Normally she lives in California, so she's very far away from her family who lives in South Carolina. But she's in South Carolina because a movie location. And she's not far at all from where her family lives. So she's feeling the tug at her heartstrings of her family, but she's not ready to deal with those skeletons in her past yet. Then there are some complicated relationship issues that are happening that I hope are able to get resolved, but they could be life-changing, career-changing for her, so she's not ready to deal with them yet. So that's where we are in this story. So far, I'm enjoying it, but again, I haven't had time to read a great deal, and I'm not very far into it yet. So I don't have too much more to report besides that. So that's where I am, what I'm doing, and I'm hoping to have some time this evening to read some more in that book and have another update for you perhaps tomorrow. So, signing off for now. So it's Friday evening, and I am 25-ish%, I guess, of the way through Indigo Isle by T.I. Lowe. So I'm going to give my final update on that before I close out this vlog. I'm honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to decide. Like, I think I want to keep reading it just to see where we go from here. The relationship that is budding between our two main characters is ridiculous, in a word. Okay, so here's the situation. We have this girl who left home on not great terms, and she's working for Hollywood, and I think I already mentioned some of this. She has had to do things, whatever, to get where she is in her career, and there's honestly, it's a toxic situation all the way around, and I feel like T.I. Lowe is doing an excellent job with that aspect of the story. That part is great. I think that the writing is good, and she's exploring that avenue of story very well, and I have no complaints about that side of the story. But there's another side of the story, and right now, as it is, these two sides are not meeting at all. There's her Hollywood location manager life, and then there's a bunny over here. Can you see the bunny? Anyway, so completely unrelated to that, there is an island that she had investigated as part of her duties of being a location manager, and she had considered it, but this recluse lives on the island and refuses to allow her to rent it or whatever. He's kind of like a Beast character, so there are certain elements of Beauty and the Beast here going on. Not entirely, it's not like tracking with the complete story there, but he's definitely like a Beast sort of character. He's got scars, and he's like not a very nice person. He's obviously dealing with some deep-seated emotional issues that he hasn't quite overcome yet. So he absolutely refuses to allow her to rent his property for filming. And he's made it very clear that he doesn't want her on his island at all. He has not tried to endear himself to her at all in any way. There's some evidence that he is truly a gentleman at heart by, some of the things that he does. Like, he's a gentleman. He's not like a terrible person, but he's given her zero encouragement. In fact, he's done everything he can, including calling the cops on her because she keeps trespassing on his property. But like every day, she keeps trespassing on his property and going to talk to him and trying to create or forge this relationship with him because I don't know why. Her motivations aren't really clearly spelled out, and then when she does try to, like, when the author does try to delve into her motivations, it's just kind of like she didn't really know what the pull was, what the draw was, but she wanted to go there. Okay, I don't know what the pull or the draw is either. Like, why would you constantly be putting yourself... And the very first time that she went over there, he literally scared her to death practically. Okay, not literally, because she didn't die, but you know what I mean. Like, he scared her to death because he had like this really wild appearance. Like, he has like wild and crazy hair that he hasn't cut in however long, and a beard, and he's got these scars everywhere, and he, was like practically growling at her and ran her off his island. But she comes back for more, and she keeps coming back for more. And they have these bizarro conversations where she's like taunting him, but at the same time she's like, I guess, interested in him. And she keeps pushing herself into his life. And sometimes he just, like, in exasperation is like, fine, I can't get rid of you, whatever, just stay there. But she keeps doing it. I'm not getting it. If it were flipped and that were a man doing that to a woman, like, what? It's not right. Like, he's clearly made it obvious he doesn't want you around. So why do you keep coming? And what's the attraction? Why? What is she attracted to? What is there to be attracted to? He's been mean to you every single time. He's yelled at you. He's called the cops on you. There's nothing in him that she finds like physically attractive, really. Again, like I said, the Beast sort of character. So why does she keep coming back? And unlike the Beauty and the Beast story, she's not held captive there and has an opportunity to see his real self. No, she keeps forcing herself on him. Anyway, I'm struggling with that part of the story, and I know that they're going to end up together because that's like how it's going to work. Because that's the thing. Like, it's a romance, right? And so that's what's going to happen. Okay, here's my stupid phone. Like, sometimes I can quite easily change from the front to the back camera, etc., when I have it on video, and then other times I can't. Like, it doesn't give it to me. So anyway, I'm struggling with that aspect of the story, but I kind of want to see how the whole filming thing works out. Plus, I know that we're working towards her having a sort of restoration of relationship with her family, and I want to see how that plays out. So I'm still reading for those things, but the actual like romance thread here, which is, you know, a decent part of the story, it's not the main thing. I mean, there's a lot going on, but oh my goodness, there's a groundhog over there. But again, I don't have the thing to flip it. Okay, that's too far away for you to see anyway, but there's a big fat groundhog over there. Anyway, I just don't know. I'm feeling a DNF coming on, but at the same time, I want to find out how some of these other things play out. And I'm rooting for these other things to happen in her life. And I feel like they will. I feel like there's going to be character development and, you know, all this stuff. That's where I'm at with that one. So if you have read it, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Or if you've read anything else by T.I. Lowe. Like I said, I've read one other book by her and I liked it. You know, it was pretty good. Not like an all-time favorite, but I liked it. It was memorable in many ways. Not feeling this one. So let me know your thoughts and let me know what you're reading this week and how y'all are doing. And I'll chat with you in the comments. See you next time. Bye.